All right, thanks for joining me back here on my YouTube channel. Getting you ready for 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. Please be sure to check out all of our coverage at NBCSportsBayArea.com, including Jennifer Lee Chan and myself doing our live stream show on the NBC Sports Bay Area page on YouTube. Let's start this off with revisiting last year when I said something on Kane BR that seemed to anger a lot of people. And why there was such anger, I'm not quite sure, but I do know that I had to use the mute button quite a bit. I said on KNBR, after the 49ers acquired Sam Darnold as a free agent, he might be, can I say this, the most talented thrower of the football that the 49ers have ever had. And so that's what I said, and I own up to it. I understand that probably 49er fans weren't real happy because I put Sam Darnold at the top of any list when they've had such an illustrious history of quarterbacks. I think I later wrote that if I had said that he's the best at breaking the huddle, like that would have caused all kinds of issues, because whenever you have a history of, you name them, Y.A. Tittle and John Brody and Joe Montana and Steve Young, that's going to cause some issues. But, no one ever told me who throws the football better, so basically I said he might be. That means he was in the higher echelon of quarterbacks who can just simply throw a football. Doesn't mean he's a great quarterback, because he's yet to prove that at the NFL level, but it means he can throw the football. And I think the Minnesota Vikings believe the same thing, or else they wouldn't have given a backup quarterback who only had one start a 1-year, $10 million contract. He's the starter now for the Vikings. That's who the 49ers will face. And so anyway, the reason I bring this up is because on Wednesday, Fred Warner, during his little session with the media, he was asked about Sam Darnold, not by me, by the way, but he was asked about Darnold, and this is what Fred said. He said, with Sam, I was always really impressed with the arm talent. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a natural thrower of the football as him, being able to make all the throws. So that's what the 49ers are up against. They know Sam Darnold very well. That first team defense practiced against him every game, or leading up to every game last year. And Darnold's debut with the Vikings was very solid. 19 of 24. He completed his first 12 passes of the season as well in his debut. And of course, he's the quarterback there. J.J. McCarthy out for the season. So it's the Darnold show. I think the Vikings are kind of under the radar as the season begins because of the other teams in the NFC North, Green Bay and Detroit. But they looked good. Now they faced a team, the New York Giants, that simply wasn't good. But the Vikings, they don't have Kirk Cousins anymore. Darnold, theoretically, is a drop-off from a healthy Kirk Cousins. But they still have Justin Jefferson. They added the running back Aaron Jones. Of course, you know him from the Green Bay Packers. He had a big game against the 49ers last year in the playoffs. And so Jones seems to fit in pretty well with what the 49ers, or what the Vikings are doing. So this game for the 49ers, it stacks up as certainly a challenge coming off of a short week, traveling to Minnesota where they haven't won since 1992. Of course, that's only 7 games, but still 7 games. It's always loud there, whether it was in the Metrodome or now at US Bank Stadium. Always a challenge dealing with the crowd noise and kind of the energy inside that building. 49ers have a couple things kind of hanging out there with Christian McCaffrey. Now, Christian McCaffrey did say that he goes into every week, regardless of how he's feeling, expecting to play, approaching it as if he's going to play, because he said if you go in to a week thinking, yeah, maybe I'll play, maybe I won't, basically means you're not playing. So he's going to give himself the opportunity to play in this game. I kind of think, whereas last week when I heard him say, oh, he's definitely, I'm definitely playing, it's not a concern in my mind. I kind of took that at face value, but what he said on Wednesday when he spoke to the media was that that's just the mindset that he has. He's not lying. It's just the only way that he can approach a work week is to expect to play, and then Sunday morning rolls around and a decision is made. So my guess would be, whereas last week I thought that McCaffrey was going to play, my guess this week is that McCaffrey does not play. And then Jordan Mason would step in again. By the way, he should have been the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, but he wasn't. So look for Jordan Mason, who obviously was kind of banged up with the 28 carries, career high for him, career high going back to high school, I think. So Jordan Mason, more than likely, I would think, will get the start. And then is it going to be Deebo Samuel? Samuel had the 8 carries against the Jets on Monday night. Maybe we see a little bit more of Isaac Guerendo. Guerendo only played a couple snaps in that game and did not have any carries in that game. The other thing is Brandon Ayuk. He said that he was scared to watch the game film after the game Monday for what he would see. And he wasn't sharp, clearly. Was it a tough opportunity for him to make that catch in the end zone? Absolutely, but it's a catch that we've seen Brandon Ayuk make repeatedly. One guy who probably doesn't have great memories of the game last year in Minnesota, Brock Purdy. If you recall, he got off to a really good start in that game, was playing really good football, but then about midway through the fourth quarter in a very tight game, he converted a 4th and 1 opportunity with a quarterback sneak. On that play, he took a hit to the helmet, sustained what was later diagnosed as a concussion. He went into the concussion protocol. But after that play, he remained in the game. He wasn't alerted to anything that was going on at that time. But after that, with about 5:30 left in the game, he threw 2 interceptions. In the remaining portion of the game, the 49ers lose to the Vikings. So that's where we are. 49ers return to action, facing Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, and the Minnesota Vikings. And as Nick Bosa said on Wednesday, 49ers aren't patting themselves on the back after the victory against the Jets. And I know the Jets kind of view themselves as a Super Bowl contender. That remains to be seen. Certainly they didn't look that way on Monday night. And the thing that Bosa said is, and he said it quite unequivocally, he said the Vikings are a better team than the Jets. So the 49ers are expecting a bigger challenge. You kind of add on the short week, the traveling to face the Vikings on their home turf. All that kind of makes this what appears to be a bigger challenge for the 49ers. But no doubt about it, 49ers, after week 1 in the NFL season, right there at the top of the power rankings, I'm sure, with that performance and just also the room that they have to grow as far as, when McCaffrey's going to come back, when Brandon Ayuk is going to round into form, when Talanoa Hufanga takes over again as the starting safety. And by the way, I think George Odom played pretty well in that game. And also down the road, Dre Greenlaw. So a lot of reasons for optimism for the 49ers as they close out week 1 with a victory and then move forward to face the Minnesota Vikings. So once again, thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and we'll keep this thing rolling.